What if the darkest stories ever told weren't just fiction, but reflections of our deepest fears brought to life through fantasy? Dark fantasy is one of the most powerful genres in storytelling, blending magic and horror into something truly unforgettable. Fact 1. Dark fantasy has roots stretching back thousands of years, born from ancient myths filled with monsters, gods, and cursed heroes. Civilizations like ancient Greece and Mesopotamia told terrifying tales that laid the very foundation of dark fantasy storytelling. Fact 2. Dark fantasy deliberately subverts traditional fantasy tropes, where heroes often fail and evil sometimes wins. Unlike classic fairy tales, dark fantasy refuses to guarantee happy endings, making every story feel dangerously real and emotionally raw. Fact 3. Dark fantasy often uses its supernatural elements as powerful metaphors for real human struggles like grief, addiction, and trauma. The monsters in dark fantasy frequently represent inner demons, making the genre deeply psychological and emotionally resonant for audiences worldwide. Fact 4. Dark fantasy has profoundly influenced modern pop culture, shaping blockbuster films, best-selling novels, and legendary video games. Works like Game of Thrones, The Witcher, and Berserk have brought dark fantasy into mainstream culture like never before. Fact 5. The color palette of dark fantasy is intentional, with creators using blacks, deep purples, and blood reds to evoke dread. These deliberate visual choices create an atmosphere of unease that pulls audiences deeper into the world being built before their eyes. Dark fantasy worlds are meticulously crafted to feel both beautiful and terrifying simultaneously, creating an irresistible tension that keeps audiences captivated. The genre thrives on moral ambiguity, presenting characters who exist in shades of gray rather than simple black and white. This complexity makes dark fantasy characters feel startlingly human, flawed, and deeply compelling in ways that simpler stories rarely achieve. Dark fantasy also explores the corrupting nature of power, showing how even the most noble souls can fall into darkness. This timeless theme resonates across cultures and generations, reminding us that the line between hero and villain is dangerously thin. Dark fantasy endures because it dares to explore the shadows within us all, and that is what makes it truly unforgettable.